On November 10, 2008, when Barack Obama entered the White House after winning the presidential elections, he met with former President George W. Bush. Obama was briefed on a clandestine operation known as Project Olympic Games. This operation represented a significant milestone in cyber warfare history, as it marked the first time a cyber weapon was designed with the explicit purpose of physically attacking a military target. This is Iran's underground Natanz nuclear facility. Here, two devastating weapons have made their mark at the same time. This is the gripping story of Stuxnet, the malware that not only became an icon of cyber warfare, but also redefined the landscape of international conflict. In 1975, when a Pakistani metallurgist named Abdul Qadir Khan, often referred to as Aku Khan, was working at the European Uranium Enrichment Consortium Urenco in the Netherlands. In a daring act of espionage, he stole crucial design plans for the gas centrifuges that are the backbone of nuclear enrichment programs. These centrifuges play a vital role in the separation of uranium isotopes necessary for nuclear energy and weaponry. A centrifuge is a machine that spins at incredibly high speeds to separate different materials based on their weight. In the context of nuclear programs, centrifuges are employed to separate uranium-235, the isotope needed for nuclear reactors or bombs, from uranium-238, which is far more prevalent but ineffective for nuclear energy generation. The process begins with uranium gas being fed into the centrifuge, where the rapid spinning creates a dynamic, where the heavier U-238 is pushed to the edges. While the lighter U-235 remains in the center, the more U-235 collected, the higher the enrichment level of the uranium, which is essential for producing nuclear reactor fuel or developing nuclear weapons. Returning to Khan, he cleverly pretended to take a holiday, but instead disappeared. After some time, he becomes the head of Pakistan's nuclear program. In this role, he saw an opportunity, and he began selling uranium enrichment technology to the highest bidders, including North Korea, Libya, and Iran. His actions would lay the groundwork for future tensions in the region. In the early 2000s, Iran began secretly constructing the Natanz facility, but its existence was brought to light in a dramatic fashion when the National Council of Resistance of Iran revealed the presence of undeclared nuclear facilities. Unable to keep the truth under wraps, Iran came clean about Natanz in 2003 and subsequently entered negotiations with the EU3, which led to a temporary agreement to halt its enrichment activities. However, this period of transparency was short-lived, as Iran attempted diplomatic negotiations. The United States intensified its efforts against nuclear proliferation. The CIA, along with British operatives, targeted Khan's network and Iran's nuclear supply chains. This coordinated campaign succeeded. Pakistan dismantled Khan's network, and Libya abandoned its nuclear program, leaving Iran more isolated. Then, in 2005, hardliner Mahmoud Ahmadinejad became Iran's president and promptly restarted the nuclear program, insisting it didn't breach Iran's agreements with the EU. Iran's chief negotiator, Hassan Rouhani, skillfully advanced the program while keeping Iran's international stance seemingly compliant, cleverly sidestepping European scrutiny. By this time, both the US and Israel had developed a keen interest in thwarting Iran's nuclear ambitions. The prospect of a nuclear-armed Iran represented a strategic threat, particularly to Israel, which viewed such developments as an existential danger. The US sought to prevent a potential nuclear arms race in the Middle East, while simultaneously avoiding direct military confrontation with Iran. Under President George W. Bush, the U.S. intelligence community, alongside Israel's Mossad, began developing a groundbreaking cyber weapon designed to covertly sabotage Iran's nuclear enrichment program. At the Natanz facility, the U.S. National Security Agency NSA took the lead in creating the sophisticated software, with technical assistance from the CIA, and the Israeli military's cyber unit, Unit A200. Israel's deep expertise in cyber warfare and its intelligence on Iran's nuclear program were critical to the success of the operation. The NSA provided advanced malware engineering capabilities, while Israel contributed invaluable intelligence and knowledge of Iran's nuclear infrastructure, given Israel's geographical proximity to Iran. Its existing network of intelligence assets facilitated the delivery of the virus into Iranian systems. Without raising suspicion, the operation, codenamed Olympic Games, was designed as a strategic maneuver to delay Iran's progress without resorting to overt military strikes, which could have sparked World War III. When Barack Obama assumed the presidency, he inherited this operation and chose to continue it, leading to the creation of the cyber weapon, known as Stuxnet. Stuxnet emerged as a revolutionary computer virus, created specifically to sabotage Iran's nuclear program. Its primary target was the computers controlling Iran's uranium enrichment centrifuges. What set Stuxnet apart was its remarkable programming. It was designed to activate only when it detected specific Siemens PLC, programmable logic controller, the very systems controlling the centrifuges at Natanz. Once the virus infiltrated the system, it manipulated the centrifuges to spin at dangerously high or low speeds, leading to mechanical breakdowns that went unnoticed by operators. Stuxnet cleverly sent false signals to the control systems, creating the illusion that everything was operating normally, allowing the virus to cause significant damage over an extended period. The overarching goal was to delay Iran's capacity to develop nuclear weapons. Stuxnet proved to be such a powerful cyber weapon that, without any military intervention, it could potentially turn the country's own airplanes, whether commercial or military, into missiles, wreaking havoc on its infrastructure. It had the potential to devastate nuclear plants and could even bring down a nation's electrical grid and banking system, resulting in the complete collapse of the economy and communication systems. In 2009, the deployment of Stuxnet at the nuclear facility faced a major hurdle. The facility employed air-gapped security, meaning it was not connected to the internet for security reasons. This posed a significant challenge for hackers attempting to breach the network from outside. Therefore, an insider ingeniously introduced Stuxnet at Natanz through infected USB devices. Once inside the network, the worm remained hidden for months, executing its mission with stealth. Although the facility was disconnected from the internet, Stuxnet managed to spread from computer to computer via USB drives until it ultimately reached the Siemens systems controlling the uranium centrifuges. The virus's attack was designed to be incredibly subtle. Stuxnet manipulated the speed of the centrifuges, putting excessive mechanical stresses on the machines. Over time, the centrifuges began to wear down and fail, causing significant damage to Iran's uranium enrichment process. Notably, Stuxnet was sophisticated enough to send back false data to operators, creating a facade that everything was functioning normally. This deception delayed Iran's realization that its nuclear program was under attack. By the time the damage was discovered, approximately 1,000 centrifuges had been rendered inoperable, inflicting a severe setback on Iran's nuclear enrichment program. In June 2010, an insider connected his laptop, previously used at the facility, to the internet upon returning home. This connection inadvertently allowed the malware to propagate throughout Iran, leading a Belarusian cybersecurity firm, VirusBlokada, to detect the worm on computers in Iran. Cybersecurity experts across the globe began analyzing Stuxnet, recognizing its sophisticated design and its specific targeting of industrial control systems. It soon became evident that Stuxnet was not the handiwork of ordinary hackers, but a state-sponsored cyber weapon explicitly designed to sabotage Iran's nuclear ambitions. While no country officially claimed responsibility for the attack, the evidence overwhelmingly pointed to the involvement of the US and Israel. The attack was hailed as a strategic success that delayed Iran's ability to enrich uranium, setting the program back by several years. However, the ramifications of Stuxnet extended far beyond Iran's borders. The malware was so destructive that it inadvertently affected other countries, including Indonesia and India, which also experienced disruptions linked to the worm. Stuxnet represents the first known example of a cyber weapon causing real-world physical destruction, opening the door to the use of cyber attacks as a viable tool of statecraft and warfare. Its success not only highlighted the vulnerabilities of critical infrastructure, including industrial systems, to digital attacks, but also reshaped global perspectives on cybersecurity. As nations grappled with the implications of Stuxnet, it became clear that the future of warfare would increasingly rely on cyber capabilities, forever altering the landscape of international relations and conflict.